Hello, Tara here. It's been a while. In fact, I think it's almost a year since I did a proper live. It's been quite a year. All sorts of things, motherhood, things changing, things not changing. But what I want to say is Happy New Year. I am starting my master's this year, so my next step to becoming a registered psychologist. And I've been doing a lot of thinking as I, prepare for that next step. And I wanted to share with you the thing that has really come through, which is something that I've already known, but it's come through loud and clear. Hey, Jodie. So I have, the one thing I noticed over the years, and anyone that's worked with me will know this, is that women's health research, women's well-being, is not in women's voices often. And we also know that research often hasn't even been done on women. If you're pregnant, you're excluded. If you're ovulating, you're excluded. If you've got your period, you're excluded. There's so many reasons why women get excluded from research on ethical basis, but also because it makes the research too variable and it's not able to say, just this one causation or this one correlation, because we go in cycles and we know that. And the one thing I've really noticed over the years is that there's so many amazing self-help, self-development, personal development books out there, and amazing mentors and coaches and practitioners and everything else. But what is often missing is actually putting it into women's voices, and we're often pushed to do more, go further, get up earlier, fit more into the day. And I think what's really come through for me over these years is that and also in my research that I did in my honours year, which was on maternal depletion, on that, reproductive birth, mothering years as a continuum, when how it can really take a toll on our physical well-being, our social well-being, our economic well-being, mental health, all that, right? And so bringing our voice through and into the rhythms that works with women's lived experience, that works with our biology, that works with our reality. Because the thing that I notice when I work with women in birth, and when I've worked with women through the Thrive program, is that even if I have there's this yearning to come into rhythm with our nature. There's a yearning. You feel like you're fighting against the tide, that you're, pushing shit uphill when you're not flowing with our nature and our rhythms and our cycles. And of course, that includes our period, that includes our cycles of our life, and that includes our as we go through pregnancy. So we can see how when we fight that, it's really exhausting. And a few things are really coming through and becoming more mainstream, like the fourth trimester, like really resting more after you've had a baby. And then you gather up your energy, you heal, you recenter, you find your new sense of self, your new sense of purpose, identity, and off you go. But a lot of women really struggle with that. And that's exhausting itself, is the struggle with that. Now, the last couple of days, I have been getting up early, very good, and listening to Tony Robbins. He did like a free, Rise Up Summit, which was amazing. And I got really motivated out of it. But again, I feel like I want to translate it into women's language, women's health, women's well-being, and what actually works in our actual life, and our everything that we're doing. So what I am doing is I'm doing on the 8th of February a free live online symposium. It's going to go from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. So you are going to have to get some babysitting happening. If you have little ones, you are going to have to carve that time out. It's called Heal, Revive, Thrive, because we need to pull back and heal so that we can revive, restore our energy, recalibrate, and then move on to setting up our life to thrive. And so that is going to cover, anyone that's worked with me, we're going to cover everything. I'm going to cover as much as I can in that 3 hours. So if you've done Thrive before, it's going to be a big reboot, a big recalibration, remembering, remembering the things that really resonated with you at the time. And of course, as we cycle through information, we get that next level of meaning all the time. We get, as our life is in a different position, we get a different understanding, as we cycle through. If you haven't done Thrive with me before, anyone in this Facebook group has worked with me before in the Thrive Facebook group in one way or another. We're going to go through, how do we restore hope, joy and purpose to our everyday life as women, so all women have the opportunity to thrive. We're going to bring that beautiful blend of yoga and mentoring and community, which I'm learning more and more is underpinned by psychology. Psychology is catching up, I guess you could say, but it's a matter of putting it into women's language. I have another thesis to write with my master's, and it's going to be something along the lines of all of this. So what you need to do is I'll pop the link in the comments after the live. If you go to thrivecollective.com.au, you can register. That just means you're going to get a reminder for next Sunday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Yep, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's free. It's going to be live, and I'm going to, go through that process that I've done with so many people and really seeing over and over again how it works. No matter what part of life you're in, whether you're just needing to keep the momentum going, whether you're feeling really stuck and you need a big shift, or you're going through a life change and you need to tweak the sails so that everything comes into alignment, you get more motivation, energy and flow, for you and your family. So I would love you to join me for Heal, Revive, Thrive. It's a free online live symposium. I will be sending the link through, so if you register at thrivecollective.com.au, I'll put the link in the comments. You'll get reminders to be there. The other thing I want to let you know is that I will be recording it and splicing it up to put onto Spotify and YouTube. And probably some Instagram reels. I haven't got into TikTok yet. I have to get my kids to get me onto that. And Spotify is where I am going to be posting a lot of my content for you to be going back to. Personally, I'm just loving, either following people on Instagram reels or listening to something on Spotify that I'm working on at the time, or following it on YouTube. So that's where I am going with this. I'll still pop things in here because a lot of you are here, but that keep an eye for Spotify and YouTube and Instagram reels coming soon. What else? That's about it. Let me know how you are in the comments. I can't see everybody that's on, so say hi. And sign up. I hope to see you there. Bye.